Hey guys, so I'm gonna do a video with Lola that I've done before. Hopefully we get a really good comparison of the difference between food luring for a down and leash pressure. So we do a lot of food stuff, but I'm a really big advocate as well of dogs learning to yield to and give in to pressure. So I want to make sure that she can give into leash pressure, is going to be this example, quietly, confidently, and understand what I'm asking of her instead of what you'll see when we initially start, because I haven't done this exercise with her. I wanted to show a really good example using her. Nope, sit, nope, Lola, sit, good. Is how easy it is to lure her with food into a down position and how much of a struggle, nope, sit, good. How much of a struggle it is to do leash pressure. And a lot of people will be like, well, why wouldn't you just use food? We don't always use food because there's a lot of things that are going to happen. Nope, Lola, sit. Good. There's a lot of things that are going to happen in life where food is not going to be the answer. There's going to be competing motivators where the dog's going to be more interested in something else than your food. You might not always have food on you. And it also increases the dog's ability to handle stress and work with you giving into pressure. This isn't going to be a ridiculous amount of pressure I'm going to use with the leash, but a dog who consistently refuses and fights and struggles with pressure, has issues with grooming, has issues at the vet's office, can't handle a stressful situation and maintain composure. So it boils over into a lot of other aspects of life, not just give into this leash pressure and go into a down position like you guys will see. Nope, Lola. Nope. Sit. Good. Nope. Sit. Good. So I'm going to make sure she stays there for another couple of seconds. We haven't done a lot of duration sit stays, so she's getting a little antsy and whiny about that. And then I'll go back over. Good. Right. Good job. So if I take food with Lola, I can very quickly and easily lure her with food, which means she's following food in my hand into a down position. See how easy that was? There was no resistance, no stress, her tail's wagging, right? Now I want to show you guys, she'll do it again. And I do start some foundation stuff like that to make sure the dog can go into the position, but watch the difference when I apply leash pressure. So what I'm going to do, which is what we usually do in training, is usually for walking and sit, come here you little worm. Usually for walking and sits, no. We have the leash coming out of the backside of the dog's collar with the prong collar mechanism there. What I do is I twist that around. So if it's normally, hold still. If it's normally like this for leash walking and sit work, we want pressure to go back or up to encourage them to put their butt back or to yield to that pressure and stay in heel position. So what I'm going to do is take and twist it around. So this is facing, come here Wiggly. This is going to be facing towards the underside of her neck. I'll turn her around and try to show you guys. You got to hold still for this. So you guys can see now my leash and my prong collar mechanism are going to be coming from the bottom. If you've seen some of our other videos, that's going to be because I'm going to be applying leash pressure to guide her DOWN. Not going to say it because I don't say it until we name it. Lola, hey, I didn't drop anything over there. So I'm going to set her up like we do all the other dogs. First in an SIT. Good. Make sure that she's twisted this a little bit. So make sure this is coming towards the bottom. And what I'm going to do, she won't hold still for 2 seconds while I'm trying to get this on video. So sit. Good. Is drop the leash down. So I don't like to do a lot of this. I like to have a long enough leash where I can just drop it down and lift my toe up over it. And I'm going to create a pulley. Nope. I'm going to back her up because this is more for you guys than it is for her. Sit. Good. So I'll start with the leash like this. Drop it down, lift my toe, swing it under there, and then I'm going to create a pulley system where I'm pulling up and it's applying a little bit of pressure down. Now see how she already got up from her SIT, she's wiggling around, she actually is trying to chew on the leash a little bit here. Nope, that'll just discourage. I don't want her to chew on a leash. So she's not quite sure what to do. She's not very good at giving in to leash pressure, which we've seen with, the leash walking. She had to figure that out. And probably also with she's supposedly at home, doesn't like to be outside of your personal space, so she's clingy and pushy in that aspect. So I want to make sure what I'm going to do while I'm doing this leash pressure exercise is I'm going to just wait her out. But I also have to make sure that I monitor how much pressure is on the leash. If she has a little bit of an awkward moment, all I'm going to do is just relax the leash a little bit, but I don't want the pressure, it's just gentle pressure, I don't want that pressure to go away if she wiggles or squirms or moves around. I want it to be consistently annoying until she shows me a little bit of give. Sometimes when they go from an SIT position to a standing position, they'll relax a little bit of that leash pressure, so you just have to adjust and monitor that. If her head is up when she's standing, then I can have, you know, a pretty short leash. If her head goes down, I might have to snug it up a little bit to make sure that she's not hanging out with her head down here, releasing that pressure. And I'm just gonna wait her out. So I could, if I wanted to, which isn't the goal of this exercise, and isn't the goal of teaching a dog to give in to pressure. I could easily overpower her and force her to the ground. That's not what I want to do. I want to make this annoying so she tries to figure out how to get rid of it. How do you get rid of it? Yield to it and kind of go into a better position to get rid of that pressure, which is going to be laying down. Nope. And I'm just going to interrupt if she tries chewing on that leash. Nope. Good. Nope. Good. And we have a lot of videos where we're working with dogs, just like Lola, some even worse than Lola, where you can see this process takes time. It's basically us just standing here and waiting them out for a ridiculous amount of time. Until eventually, usually it starts off with, they just get tired or bored and they lay down. But that offers shaping. When they do that, I get quick, enthusiastic release, I reward them, and we try it again. And usually each successive time, it takes less and less pressure and less time for them to assume the appropriate position to get rid of that leash pressure. I want her to learn how to turn pressure off. Good girl. Rick. Lola, good job. You have no idea what you did, huh? Let's go. Good girl. job, Lola. Good. Bless you. Good girl. Good girl. Good. That was a little sloppy on my part. Sorry, good girl. Where are you? Good. Good girl. Break. Yes. You got it. Good job. Good. No, this side. Good girl. Break. Yes, Lola. No, I'm not going to jump. You can be excited, but we're not going to jump. Lola. Good. Good girl. Break. Yes. Good job, little mama. Lola. There you tangle nest. Good girl. Sit. Good. Good girl. I'm gonna give her one in position. Good girl. Very nice. Now, just like with other commands, I'm not gonna name this until we start to get a really good response with the little tiniest bit of pressure. She's so freaking smart, you guys. Good girl. Yes. The difference. All right, so our video's been going for 15 minutes. The difference in her understanding of how to give into that leash pressure to lay down in 15 minutes is awesome. Good girl. And what this also avoids is a dog who can only do a command with a hand signal. So when I start to pair this with a verbal cue, I'll get more reliability without doing this in her understanding DOWN. Good girl, let's go. I won't necessarily have to be right in front of her doing this to give her a little signal. I did draw one over there. Good job. Pull it. Good. Do that one more time. Good girl. Very good. Good job. Break. Yes. Awesome. All right, before this video is too long. We'll practice this for another couple of minutes, and then she's going to take a nap to absorb all that stuff.